Hi guys, I'm going to be talking about how I was exploited and I was basically in modern slavery at a care home that I worked for. Before we start, we're going to be praying. I'm a Christian. I believe God has brought me this far, so I'm not going to abandon him in the process. So we're going to be reading from Isaiah 7 verse 7. Thus saith the Lord, it shall not stand. And the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee, me. It also says in Isaiah 60 verse 1, it says, arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee, me. You, anyone that believes. It's all about belief, and I would like to really stress on the fact that my moral beliefs and my Christian faith has really guided me through this process, has kept me calm through the process. But I am here making this video so the full legal processes could be followed and should be followed, because justice is for everyone. It doesn't matter the skin color, it doesn't matter your nationality. If there is a crime, then justice, real justice, should be applied. And I believe that this is a very fair country, and I've said it, it's the greatest country in the world and a kingdom, the greatest kingdom basically. So why wouldn't I want to seek justice in a system that I know that works to protect vulnerable people and also victims of crimes? I believe what I'm doing is in good faith, and as I've stated in my previous videos, this is not defamatory to anyone. I'm not here to slander any institution or personality or misquote anyone. I'm just here to say my experiences working for this particular company and how I was exploited, assaulted, and basically my human rights were violated. So basically it was labor exploitation. So we're going to be starting from UK laws against exploitation and criminal harm. According to the Working Time Regulations of 1998, under UK law, you are legally entitled to 5 to 6 weeks of paid annual leave per year. While an employer can control when you take it with proper notice, they can refuse you the right to take your holidays within the leave year. Preventing a worker from taking their legal entitlements is a breach of these regulations. Again, it says here that they can refuse you the right to take. They cannot refuse you the right to take your holidays. You see, it's a bit confusing, because what I heard from these company was that restrictions, the words that were used against me when I was requesting holiday time was like, I can't take a holiday, there's no one else there to fill it in, when they have a full agency staff of about 100 to 200 or people that are willing to work. But I personally was exploited. My hours were abused, my body was abused, my human rights were violated at every point. According to their policies, which is messed up. In this company, they have policies. It says you need to give 6 weeks notice. From 1 month, they changed it to 6 weeks. Fine. By January, I tried to take a leave because the pressure from work was getting too much. I just wanted to relax and really know what I'm doing with my life, do you get? And think about my next steps. I wanted to have this reset that was very necessary because of the abuse I've been facing. And according to this law, the Modern Slavery Act of 2015 says that if I'm being denied holiday or forced to work through intimidation, especially visa threats, this falls under forced or compulsory labor. Section 1 of this act makes it a criminal offense to exploit someone by forcing them to work under threats or coercion, which was basically what happened to me. I might want to call in sick. I would not be allowed to call in sick. I would be getting this kind of reaction from the manager, irritation of me not coming in when, you know, I've never missed a day. The only time I missed a day was from January 1st when I fell ill, and something very unfortunate happened that day, which would later be somehow applied to me in my career, which is actually bonkers if you think about it. I don't think any sane individual would want someone, an innocent woman that is a non-witness to an assault or any injury, to be accounting for things she did not see, which is basically exploitation. So why would you want me to be around even when physically I can't make it? Physically I've been assaulted, emotionally they've said things to me that I always ignore. It's fine. If you don't like me, I don't really care. That's my motto. You don't pay the bills. I'm here to work and go home. I don't bother anyone. I don't care about your personal life. Please don't care about mine. But my personal life was like the main topic. If I wear perfume, oh, Gigi wore perfume today. Just little comments that I may not go fully into, but just know that these comments were racially motivated against me as a person of perceived color. And of course I love myself, I'm proud of my color, but in this setting I would face a lot of ridicules, a lot of like nasty comments about just my physical appearance, could go for my hair, while physically assaulting me, while sexually assaulting me, also sexually harassing me. So basically I just wanted to continue about how I started the job. From the last video, I believe I stopped where I would be called into a meeting, you know, regarding what I said happened a few months back on, and the assault that took place in the care home. So they claim everyone there has a mental problem. Fine. So if two people with mental issues are fighting, what does that have to do with me? Especially if I'm a non-witness. Why would I be called in for an impromptu meeting stating that I was somewhere where I wasn't? And this manager would go on saying things like, oh, I was in direction A, I was in direction B, I was in direction C, giving me emails, but I would write written denials of this. She would physically bombard me and follow me around, stalking me, and said, no, I was there, but I was there when it happened. I said, I wasn't there. You cool? No, in the back of my mind, I'm like, you all right? I wasn't there. Who's giving you this information? Who's giving you this kind of information about me? Because that's defamation, right? There's like putting me in a scene that I wasn't, but you're making that up in your head to professionally sabotage me, because her actions by bringing two other managers, unnamed managers, to come and interview me on my day off would be illegal. According to the Care Standards and Health and Social Care Act 2008, this regulation specifically mandates that service users must be protected from improper treatment, which includes the inappropriate use of sedation. Doing so is a major safeguarding failure that can lead to prosecution by the Care Quality Commission. I'm not even going to say much about that for now, but I'm just going to tell you what I believed happened to me as a staff. So I believe this is this is a matter of great importance. I believe criminal acts were done against me, and I believe vulnerable people were used as weapons of assault against me because of the manager and team leaders witch hunt. It wasn't just 2 people, it was now a group of about 5 to 6 people. It was a team-wide effort of an attempt on my life at this job. Why would I go to a job, do my job, come early? I would be there 30 minutes early. Believe me, 30 minutes early, I'm already there. And I'll still be criticized, saying that I should have come by 7 a.m. Why would the team leader be saying that? And I'm going to really dive in to say what happened and explain the assaults on each month. So we're basically in February when this after the series of assaults in February, I was now blamed for something I didn't see that led to serious injuries of a resident, and I didn't see that. And the funny thing is that people that were actually there were not questioned, because I was with a service user, and someone came into the room, one of the staff came into the room, unnamed, would come into the room and tell me to stay there with someone else, with the resident I was supporting, that there's been a fight, that if I stay there, she's gonna bring his food, which I was like, okay, I'm gonna play some music on my phone for him, because this service user loves music. So we're there, we're vibing, we were basically just together. We weren't doing anything about from like maybe his toys and music that I was trying to play on my phone for him to entertain him and like calm him down, because he's been violent. Remember, he's one of the people that assaulted me the most. I told you, whenever the team leader is there, he would hit, but when we're alone, he's quite all right. So it just makes me feel like she was a trigger for him. And anyone watching these videos will know that I'm heading somewhere, and I just need your patience, because I may not be the best narrator, but I speak the truth, and the truths are facts, and the truths are documented. And I just want people to listen to me, and I definitely want the Home Office to see this, because I received visa threats, I've been exploited, I've been a victim of modern slavery. I've also been racially discriminated, I've been physically assaulted, I've been sexually harassed, all in 6 months. These were all targeted attempts at me because of my looks, because of how I look, maybe because of my youth, my age. And they were also like saying things about how I'm an immigrant, so I don't have a say in this country. Not like I was even saying anything. I would just come and someone is giving me racism talks. Why are you asking me about what I think about racism? Why are you asking me what I think about? You're asking me a lot of political not nonsense, but you know, political things that I personally would not have an opinion on. Why are you trying to like phrase it in a way to like get information from me that you could use and say that, oh, she feels this way or she feels that way? That is illiteracy. That is you being, I'm sorry, but that is blunt illiteracy. This is an established country, so if your hate for me or anyone else would make you just walk up to them and want to speak about racism, color, hair textures, I could understand curiosity, especially like if it's harmless, but with the intent to provoke me, that in its own is harassment. I would not have a day's rest. I'm sitting down on the breaks that I never had. I would manage to sit down after being overworked for 12 hours or more. Remember, I said they used to call me in earlier than my shift, and still criticize me when I come 30 minutes early. So I was living in a constant state of fear and harassment from these people, following the assaults. It wasn't enough to just use physical words. Staff would physically also partake in the abuse.